All right, Kristen, thank you. And if you plan to support a charity for Giving Tuesday, you want to make sure that your money's going to the cause, not a scammer. And Aisha's at the First Alert Safety Desk. So what should we be on the lookout for?
Well, Tammy, there's a few red flags. It's so important to be on guard. Wisconsin Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says during the holidays, donors are more vulnerable to charity scams, especially when you mix in emotional or even urgent requests for donations. But before you donate, do your research.
Take the time to learn about the organization and verify it's legitimate before giving. Who are they? Are they who they claim to be? And you can do that by asking for details.
So you heard it there. DATCP says ask for those details. Legitimate charitable organizations can and will provide their name, address, or phone number. They can also explain how much of a donation will be used for the charitable purpose. Avoid imposter scammers who send unsolicited texts and emails asking for money. A scammer will often use phony websites, so contact the organization directly if you have questions or concerns. Also, resist high-pressure tactics. Avoid donating in response to a phone call or by using payment methods like cash, cryptocurrency, banking apps, gift cards, or wire transfers. Use a credit card or write a check directly to the organization, not an individual. And as the use of artificial intelligence becomes more popular, DATCP says be skeptical if a celebrity or public figure appears in an ad for a charitable organization. It could be scammers using AI to make the scam charities seem legitimate. Make sure you use trustworthy resources today. Use give.org or charitynavigator.org to learn more about a charity. You can also research charities here in Wisconsin. There is a state database. We already have all of that information, those links, under the Safety Desk tab at WBAY.com, guys.